Right, hey guys, how are we doing? Back with another video from Mother's Basement. We're checking out the top 10 anime openings of 2020. There's been some decent ones. Personally, I really liked the God of High School opening, but that was music-wise, like the music was sick. That's my, the dubstep stuff, then bam. Tower of Gods opening, I really liked. Keep Your Hands Off of Isaacon really stood out. Princess Connect was fun. That was a really fun opening. I can't really think of many more off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure there's a load of other cool ones. And I think it's really weird that he's done this now. I know it's like end of the year and that, but Attack on Titan, at the time of recording this, hasn't just quite yet come out. So I'm intrigued to see if the opening for Attack on Titan's OPs are like always really freaking sick. And so I feel like it's going to be cool if we watch this top 10 and then Attack on Titan's out and then it's just like the opening's just like, oh, and it's like, oh, well, that's supposed to what you're doing. But anyway, let's check this out. This is the top 10 anime openings of 2020. God, that was some energy opening. Boom.
Cliche to say at this point, but 2020 has been an absolute bitch of a year.
Yep,
I don't have to tell you why, you just lived through it too. And I think we're all eager to just close this thing out and start up the new one.
Please. Please.
That said, I do want to close it out right, and while the end of 2019 feels like it happened a decade ago, I do remember feeling like it wasn't quite complete without my annual best of
it's a necessity.
I did take a break from those for good reason. They were far and away the most time-consuming thing I worked on.
I imagine.
I would watch literally every
Oh,
anime
damn, just to see the openings.
many of them multiple times over.
Plus you have to watch the anime itself and like, see how the opening's like portraying the story and that, damn.
It was a weeks-long endeavor that simply was not worth the
Oh,
amount of views those
no.
videos brought in, and I'm pretty sure I was the only person.
That's the most annoying thing when you spend so long in a video and then just get
Definitely
nothing.
way too much to handle after everything we just went through and before I subject myself to the torture of the worst of the year list. So this is just going to be a list of my favorites.
My Second Life is a Villainess.
Ranked based mainly on how goblin gooey my brain gets watching. In 10th place, The God of High Schools.
Yes.
Contradiction
Yes.
by Case K feels quite
Big your
appropriately
contradiction.
like a flashy promo for
It's
a
so
big fight.
fast paced.
It's
The whole show
packed with
was.
slick motion graphics and killer fight choreography, but decidedly
Oh mate, I'm so glad it's made the list.
and foreshadowing. It doesn't even feature much in the way of original animation. Most of the action in it is simply repurposed.
Oh, just like recolored and stuff, but still, it's so
Most of
sick.
them from the first episode.
Oh wow,
Still,
okay.
that animation is every bit as impressive as anything you'd see in a more bespoke opening.
I
And the
love
show's
that show.
frequent use of extreme perspective shots really fits the music.
Yeah, man.
aesthetic. The
I'll be
stylistic
your
recoloring does a good
contradiction.
job
Ba-doo,
highlighting
ba-doo.
the important characters
Ba-doo,
and
ba-doo.
making the fights feel different than they do in the show. It all matches the neon graffiti
Oh my
motion
God,
graphics
yes.
used in the rest of the OP well, and
So
most
sick.
importantly, it is timed perfectly to the music. Which means that every time my
Not
brain
that hard.
tries to get stuck on a shot I recognize, it immediately gets carried away from it in the irresistible flow of an absolutely killer jam.
It's a
From the onslaught of
banger.
digitized imagery and tournament
It's a
buzzwords,
banger. I'm so glad it's on the list.
mellow establishing shots of soul that bridge us into the fights, to the gloriously stylish group pose into title card combo at the end. Every last aspect of this OP is tightly tuned to rev up your hype engines. and
Hell
get you
yes, 'cause it was
excited to
nothing
watch
but
high
hype. That show
schoolers
was
hurt
nothing
each other.
but hype.
Honestly, it's pretty impressive that Nappa
Yo.
managed to make it feel this fun and fresh while reusing so many assets.
Yeah, that is
It goes to show
decent,
that a
man.
strong creative vision and a cohesive sense of style are all it really takes to make a
Make
compelling
a really good opening, yeah. That's
is a
class.
kick-ass theme song.
And the
That
music.
Number 9 pick is Easy Breezy by
Oh.
Kel Miko, the opening.
Oh yeah, Keep Your Hands Off Isaacon, there you go. Yeah.
And there's really not much I can say about
It's
this
class.
OP that's not apparent.
Very stylish.
It is an instantly and irresistibly charming little ditty that gets a heck of
A lot of people
mileage
parodied
with
it.
Very few art assets. You got 2 sets of dance poses for each character, repeated several times over in
Yeah.
a few different color palettes.
Oh, the color
against
palettes,
a
yeah.
handful of pattern
Stands
backgrounds,
out.
Several static images animated purely with digital effects and motion tweening, a bunch of rough doodles
Easy
doing
peasy.
cute little 2-frame loops, a pair of disembodied clapping hands, 2 smoother full body dance animations of the whole cast that are only silhouettes, so very easy to animate, and of course,
Is it though?
text for the
Can
credits
you
and the
animate?
title of the show. It's not much, and most of it is used several times over.
Say that to
yet
an
this OP
animator.
flawlessly conveys the tone of the show, the personalities and skills of its core cast, and most importantly, the raw power of amateur animation in a way that has compelled fans of the series to watch and rewatch it 10 million times
Yeah,
over
man. It's
since it
nice that
aired
they've thrown
last
that in, yeah.
January. A big part of that appeal is obviously the song itself,
Yeah,
which
it's classic.
is catchy enough that I started crab dancing in the middle of writing this thing, but it's also a testament to Masaki Yuasa's skill as a director.
Oh, okay.
From Kaiba to the Tatami Galaxy to Devilman Crybaby, Yuasa
Yo.
has demonstrated time and again that he is a master of minimalism in his
Cool.
OPs, and this is just the most potent example of that talent in action. It's not even the only one this year. Japan Sinks 2020.
I've still not watched that.
Over quaint daily lives of the Muto family in soft, stark watercolor, setting us up for a sucker punch of poignant tragedy in
Yeah,
each of the
it's
episodes.
I've heard
that
it's
follows
sad.
it.
I've heard
It
it's very
is
sad.
gorgeous and ephemeral, like a fading memory. But Eizouken's opening worms its way into your ear and burrows deep into your mind basically as soon as you hear it, and I have watched, listened to, and smiled at it more times.
So
this
many
year.
parodies on my Twitter
Our
and
eighth
that.
place finisher is another irresistible charmer.
Ah!
At least it prominently features one. My Next Life as a Villain,
Yes!
All Roots Lead
So
to
good!
is one of the sweetest, funniest
Yo!
romantic comedies.
It
in
was,
recent
boss.
memory,
It was
and its
really
opening,
good.
Shoujo no Root wa Hitotsujanai by Angela brings both the laughs and the
I really
sweets.
enjoyed that
So-
anime, man.
So many sweets. If you're not familiar with the show already, the girl you see picking out on those sweets is Katarina Claes, the villainess of a
Katarina
fictional
Claes.
otome game called Fortune Lover.
She's
Or
the villain?
rather, she's
Or is
an
she?
unnamed gamer girl who gets reincarnated into Katarina's body, and through her efforts to avert the many death flags.
The Death Flags, man. It was such a clever idea. I really, really liked
accidentally
it.
ends up building a vast, ever-growing
Harem.
pansexual
Yes.
harem. And the parts of the opening that aren't dedicated to demonstrating what an adorable dumbass Katarina can be mostly concern themselves with introducing that very crowded harem to us.
Yes.
Every one of them gets a chance to show off
They
their
all show off a little
distinctive
bit of
charm,
personality,
and to be
yeah.
charmed in turn by Baccarina.
I
that
really
really
enjoyed that,
dangerous
man.
All set against the gorgeous paint on
Ooh,
canvas
Princess Connect's on
backdrop
there now. I
of
think
their
we're on the same wavelength here. We're
this
just...
isn't the most
Oh.
impressive OP in the world from an animation standpoint. For the most part, it's pretty stiff and limited, but it uses that simple and snappy.
It shows us all what's going on with each character, man.
effect, and it impresses in other ways, particularly by integrating its credits seamlessly into that
Into the
hybrid
background
storybook
and foreground.
stage play
Yeah.
presentation, which is an odd
Like,
use, but it works.
Dan Matchy's
The
doing that at
song
the moment, isn't it,
accompanies
with the
these
new one?
visuals is equally
Like on the
fun,
wall
like
and on the floor and
using
that.
classical music samples to strong comic effect early on, and reacting to the majesty of the ultimate harem pro-tag queen
Man, I
with
really, really
appropriate
enjoyed that
moral
show.
reverence. This is one of those OPs that easily puts a big ol' smile on my face every time I watch it, not unlike the show that it precedes. My 7th place pick has a similar effect, though it
Ooh, what's
produces more of an
this?
excited grin than a delighted smile. I Got It by Nia Regina is a
Parry
bombastic,
Ranman. I didn't
jazzy
watch
hard rock
this.
number that will get your head banging and your fingers snapping whether you want to or not. It has an unusual but undeniably invigorating sound, making it a perfect fit for Opere Ranman, the eclectic and exciting steampunk samurai western.
Oh, I did
wacky
see some
races
clips of
anime
this. This was
that's
in
way
one of his
cooler than
recommended,
whatever
wasn't it?
you're
Like,
watching now,
it does look
even
cool.
if it's VTubers, but not if it's Akudama Drive. This OP is just pure indulgence from my perspective. A mix of loud, memorable
Oh, well,
anime
yeah, I like
character,
stylized
art design
stuff like
doing
that.
increasingly awesome things out in the desert, and detailed mechanical animations that are heavy on the shiny brass pipes and steam.
Yo.
As someone whose happy place is the deck of an impossible airship, those few shots of Opere working on the Opere are like a pint of cocaine straight to my brain.
Whoa.
Though I do have
Wait a
almost
minute.
as much fun watching Hototo Toss's
He's used that
Tomahawk
phrase
and
before
Jing
because
Shaman
Trash
through
Taste
Tempo
mentioned that he's
From
said the
Opere's
pint of
segue
cocaine
and
thing
run
before.
tactics to
That's really
create
funny.
really
They were saying how silly it
and
sounds and then
the
used it
action
again and
in
he
this
just said
opening
it.
is consistently creative in its choreography and exceptional
That's really made me laugh.
execution of its animation.
Oh.
There are a lot of great characters in Opere Ranman, and
It
this
looks
OP
cool.
gives every one of them their own chance to shine, all while showcasing the vast beauty of the American West and impressive
Nice.
painterly detail under an equally wide variety of weather and lighting conditions. Yeah, a lot of my love for this OP does boil down to how fun it is just to look at, but it's also well composed and paced, appropriately for a racing anime, or part racing anime,
Part racing?
period drama, part cowboy samurai adventure.
Whoa.
This OP
It looks
is
like it's got a
great
lot
at
going on.
providing a sense of speed and momentum to carry you through into the show itself. hyping you up for its action as it draws you into its unique and stylishly
It does
anachronistic
look
world.
really good.
I'd assume that my 6th place pick, Goodbye by Urashimasa Katasen, which opens
Bungo and Alchemist.
is similarly effective at drawing you into its story and world.
I don't think
But
I
can't
heard
say
of
for
this at
sure
all
because
this
I
year.
opted out of watching that show. Its characters and setting do seem like a good time, but much like Bungo's Stray Dogs before it, I found myself struggling to enjoy a story so rooted in references to classical literature that I haven't read and can't read. And at least that show had
It looks cool.
Fitzgerald,
Wow,
Crane, and
cool. Look at
Lovecraft
the
in it
fucking
for
colours in
us
that
Western
standing out.
nerds. My inability
Yo,
to
very
read
Goblin
kanji
Slayer-esque
does not,
with the
however,
colours on the
detract one iota
red
from
with the moon
fun
in
I
the
have
background.
watching fashionably dressed anime sword, gun, and spearmen
Whoa,
running,
there's a lot going
dancing,
on.
and fighting their way
Oh, they're running
through a
across the text.
stylized,
That's sick.
colorful world made of the stuff, though. This is one of the most visually arresting and inventive OPs of the year, packed with stunningly surreal animation that moves in time to an infectious
Seems very
swing.
video gamey
Though
at times.
that said, it is almost as good at realistic animation. And even when it's not actually animated, it looks gorgeous. Every character shot is rendered as a stained glass cutout.
Yeah, that's
diorama,
cool.
making each one memorable and breathtaking.
Seems like
Set
something
that
you would do in a
against
video
a
game, like where
backdrop
it's
of
character
spinning
select or
grass
something.
gears, and you've got a distinctive style that lights up the steampunk center of my brain even brighter than Opere does. Is that the only reason this ranks higher than Opere on the list? Yeah, maybe. But I
Oh, okay.
also
At least
think
he's
it
honest.
says something that I can so deeply enjoy this sequence while having zero attachment to its world or characters. That, to me, is a sign of a great OP. Of course,
Sweet.
one of the things that makes great OPs great is how they
Kaguya-sama.
play on our attachment to and understanding
Love is
of
war.
the characters they involve. And my 5th place pick, Daddy Daddy Do, from the 2nd season of Kaguya-sama Love is War, really exemplifies that. As I explained in
Awesome.
my analysis of the opening earlier this year, cough cough, link in the top right corner.
It's
cough,
so cool.
It's essentially a full-blown, self-contained Kaguya-sama skit that captures the tone and personality of the series in its comedic and dramatic moments entirely through expressive, fluid animation. That works
It's-
in part because
wow.
the OP makes heavy
Just look
use
at it,
of
man.
subtle and not
Food
so
always
subtle
looks good in
references
anime,
to
though.
jokes and moments from the show and manga. It's definitely at its funniest when you're intimately familiar with the cast and their antics.
Well, like how they
but
act and that,
it's your
yeah.
first taste of
You find it fun because you're like, oh,
Daddy
that's so
Daddy Do
typical
does
them.
a great job of conveying what the show is all about, what those characters are like, how they feel about each other, and how they interact.
Yes.
And if it makes you laugh, which it probably
It should.
will, because come on, just look at Chica,
Yay.
then you can be
Best
fairly
girl.
certain that the show
Well,
it
she's on the list.
precedes will
She's
do
on the
the
list.
same. In terms of raw production values,
Best
this
girl.
is easily one of the most visually impressive openings of the year, and thanks to Masayuki Suzuki's masterful crooning and the beautiful accompaniment of Airi Suzuki, no relation, it's
I didn't realise that these like songs have actual music videos. I need to look into that. I'm such an idiot for not thinking that they do. Oh, it's a heart.
Use the rest of the time in this slot to recommend that you go watch the full music video if you haven't
Sick.
already. And I do mean watch it. The full song is worth listening to, obviously.
But the music video
half
got
the
stuff going
fun
on as
is
well, that's
seeing
cool.
Just how hard both Suzukis go as they built it out.
Cool.
It's a heck of a performance. In 4th place, we get the rare joy of watching an anime character belt out her own theme song.
What's this?
Princess Cialis, played by Inori Minase, performs
Oh, is this one where she's trying to
90s unnamed
sleep?
Cialis
Sleepy Princess.
Seikatsu
There you go.
for the
Oh,
sleepy
man.
Princess in the Demon Castle.
She just wants a good night's sleep while she's in the tower.
Blends elements of storybooks and stagecraft to create its aesthetic.
My girlfriend, if she
though
got
it
captured,
holds
she'd
up
just be
and
like, just
discards the former with
stop
its
waking me up.
spooky
I
pop-up
wanna go sleep.
Demon Castle in favor of brightening up the place with some Broadway lights and pastel paint. Much
It
to the
does look
chagrin of
cool,
some
man.
of
As if she's got
Castle's
the
formerly terrifying
brush as well.
inhabitants. Interspersed between shots of the princess sprucing up the castle and
That's
singing
cool.
enthusiastically about her quest for a good night's sleep, we see glimpses of the atrocities she's willing to commit to get there.
How far will
But
she
even with
go?
those
Cool.
warnings of the horrors to come, the castle's
Aw,
denizens
the
can't
teddy
help but
bear's
get
bringing up
carried
the
away by her charisma and
sheep.
start dancing to her tune. Her adorable, subtly sinister, infectiously upbeat tune.
Aww.
Though, considering how many times she dies in this opening, it's clear they're not the only ones in danger. Just thank Mao-sama that this is a retro RPG world with no consequences.
Oh,
Although it
okay.
should be noted that, canonically, Cialis does not actually care if the victims of her hunt for good betting are resurrected or not.
Oh,
This OP
it's
is a
that
visual
important.
and audible sugar bomb, packed with some of the absolute cutest sights and sounds of any
It does look
anime this
boss.
year. The adorable tuxedos and top hats on Cialis' demonic teddy bear
Yeah,
guards,
they look cool.
colorful, stylized background art designed to mimic the look of a low-budget theatrical set, and of course Cialis herself are all just impossibly kawaii, and that only makes it funnier when the much scarier, more serious demons around them get roped into the musical madness.
Brilliant.
Sleepy Princess
Brilliant.
and Demon Castle is one of the year's funniest, most delightful shows, and this enthusiastic, energetic celebration
Level
of its
1, cheap
characters
pillow.
and comedy makes for a
Level
perfect
1, cheap
introduction
sheets.
to it. In third place, we've got another
Jujutsu
I've already
Kaisen,
talked
what an
about
opening.
just last week, in fact.
That what's in an OP was
Kaikaiki-tan from
class.
Jujutsu Kaisen. Though there is more in this OP than I could break down even in a 20-minute video, including deep manga spoilers that I could only allude
Please
to.
don't.
If you're curious, another YouTuber, Ocean Is, did a much less spoiler-safe
Oh.
but really stellar breakdown of some of the symbolism. There are also even
That's a
more
nice little
significant
shout out to another
backgrounds
channel.
from around Tokyo that I don't know the city well enough to recognize. Thankfully, I have you guys here and on Twitter to help me locate
Oh,
them.
so did you actually point
Our
out some of the
crowdsourcing,
places?
You found quite a few since last week.
Nice.
For instance, when we see Megumi crouching down at the beginning, he's in Sendagaya Tunnel in Shibuya, a place famously
Oh.
rumored to be haunted on
Oh,
account of the grave
that's
directly
cool.
above it. Nanami is sitting in Nikolai Bergman's cafe in Minato, which has more than 7 lamps
Oh.
with real lighting fixtures.
Whoa,
confirming that those
sick.
were an intentional reference to his powers. Maki, meanwhile, can be found cleaning her glasses not in Shinjuku Gyoen, but rather Otaguro Park, a picturesque little garden.
This is
of
awesome.
Ufo
I'm so
with
glad
an
that people
equally
helped him
picturesque
find
little tea house in it. When we see Mahito making Cronenbergs out of people,
Yeah.
he's doing it on a shopping street in Kichijo.
This is sick.
And
This
most
is
importantly,
sick.
That funky golden eye thing
Yeah?
behind Aoi Todo is in fact an art installation
Oh.
in one of the tunnels that leads to the
Whoa,
Tokyo
that's
Metropolitan
boss.
Building.
That's so
a visual
sick.
signifier that your boy is literally a man of culture. I'm a bit mad I missed that, honestly.
Oh, mate, that would have been a good joke to throw in, yeah.
And not just for all
There's
the
so much
clever
going on. That's
references.
sick. That's so sick.
Kaikaiki-tan is an absolutely killer theme song, and it's really cool. that
It's
the
boss.
artist
It's a good
behind
opening.
it, Eve, is getting more mainstream
The
recognition
ending
for his
theme is so
talents.
funky
The
though.
singer-songwriter slash Vocaloid producer previously created one of the ending themes for Dororo, and given the surreal pop vibe of many of his singles and animated music videos, he's
Whoa.
kind of a perfect fit for establishing the hip, spooky atmosphere that defines Jujutsu Kaisen.
Hmm.
My second place pick is also great at setting the tone for its
Oh, Great
series,
Pretender.
though that tone is a lot more lighthearted.
I want to binge this with my
and wholesome.
girlfriend.
GP, the fully instrumental opening to Great Pretender, creates a Hollywood
It
crime
does look
movie
really good, this
vibe,
show. This show
jazzy
looks really, really
homage to
good.
The inimitable style of Saul Bass, the original OP artiste. With digital technology and a team of expert animators,
There's like 2 seasons on
Great
Netflix now, isn't there?
Pretender is able
Mm.
to create an OP a lot more
Oh, Wit
dynamic,
Studios, cool.
chaotic, and three-dimensional than anything Bass could have cooked up back in the 60s, but it still captures that same
I do like the
retro
style, yeah, that's
essence.
class.
Much
Very
like the
retro.
show itself,
That's
this
awesome.
OP takes us on a breakneck international thrill
Wow,
ride
the
from
colours
streets
changing
of
and that through the
Tokyo
panels
to
and that, it's
sunken
boss.
luxury pools of LA to the waterways of Singapore, as seen from a stunt plane going 200 plus miles per hour in a matter of seconds. Each location linked to the last through slick, snappy, seamless transitions. It's a lot of fun seeing how
Whoa.
these shots connect and transform into each other, and they go by so quickly that there's plenty of detail to pick up across repeat viewings. In addition to allowing for these smooth segues, the impressionistic silhouettes of buildings and people
Oh, I wonder
also
what
create
number
a
1
lot of
is
hidden
going to
space
be.
that's just
I hope
begging to
I've
be filled
watched
with
it and I
credits,
can
making
appreciate
this
it
one
and
of
be
the
like,
most aesthetically
yes.
well-balanced OPs out there. Its blend of bright, vibrant colors, simple, appealing shapes, and fast,
Ooh, excuse
frenetic
me.
motion is downright hypnotizing, and it's absolutely packed with foreshadowing for the anime's 4 crazy cases, too. So even as you get swept up in its frenetic, kinetic energy, it's priming you for the
Frenetic,
series to
kinetic.
come. As OPs go, GP is a work of art, plain and simple, and on top of being one
It
of
does
my
look really
favorites, it's
cool.
undeniably one of the year's best and most creative. Not quite the best, but we'll
Yeah,
get
it's
to
number
it.
2.
Before we get to first place, I want to take a quick pit stop to highlight some honorable mentions.
Oh, okay, cool.
IQ, as it always does,
Still need
had
to watch
2
this show,
very
goddammit, I'm so
individually
sorry.
rated OPs this year. So did My Hero Academia. While the
that was good.
The overhaul arc kind of phoned it in my opinion. The School Festival OP more than makes up for that with some bold stylistic choices and a slice of life vibe that's a nice change of pace from the usual brawling. Akudama Drive's OP surprisingly doesn't feature any brawling for an anime
That
character.
anime
Brawler
looks
in it,
so
but it
crazy.
nonetheless oozes neon-drenched style from every frame.
That's
If
cool.
you want animated action, Decadence had some great cuts of the high
That
flying
anime looks sick as
and
well.
The second opening for SAO War of Underworld mixed some solid sword
Whoa,
fighting with
what's
a
he doing
genuine
shouting out some
element
SAO?
of the
'Cause it
characters'
was
VR
good.
avatars blending in with their real-world selves. Just a shame about all the
Kirito stuff,
Princess
yeah.
Connect
Oh,
Revive
Princess
has
Connect
more
Revive.
advances, doing
I love that
fantastic
show.
things, and feels like a
It's
more
so good.
laid-back take on Konosuba. Though
Yeah.
if laid back is what you're looking for, it's hard to beat the
I only
wonder
watched a
and
couple episodes of
charm
that show.
Sonoly and the forest spirit's soft and sweet intro.
And it
You
does
might
look
expect something
good.
similar from the romantically tinged Tonikawa, and it certainly starts on a somber note, but then it breaks down, breaking the standard Anisong format in the process, and it's just plain awesome. On the other hand, Science Fell in Love, So I Tried to Prove It has a much more conventional rom-com opener, made enjoyable through scientific stylization.
I didn't watch that. I added it to my queue and I just didn't watch it.
Though if we're talking pure style, it's tough to top the fast and powerful opening to BNA, Brand New Animal.
That
They're
is
always
recommended.
crazy.
I
Oh,
want to
and
check that
on the
out.
subject of furries, if you're wondering why
Beastars
didn't make this list with its jaw-dropping stop-motion OP,
Mm.
that's only because I'm counting Japanese release dates, and it dropped in fall of 2019.
Oh,
Even though it came out in North America this year. I could
yes.
keep going with
It came out on
these
Netflix this
for a
year
while.
in England.
My past lists were like 40% honorable mention, and I have no doubt that shows I'm not caught up on, like Black Clover, Fire Force, Boruto, and Pokemon, brought it like they do every year. But my goal is to
Black
keep this
Clover's
video,
openings
so let's roll
are
with
decent,
the
like.
first. My favorite opening of 2020 is Realize by Konami.
Oh, me!
Suzuki.
I've not watched ReZero yet.
First OP, the second season of
I'm going to
ReZero. Other
binge.
openings
Well,
on
I'm going to
this list
start
may be a little
watching
better at
it
building raw
when the
hype
second
and
half
showing off impressive
starts.
animation, but this is the only one that manages to do that while also making me cry.
Oh my
of course,
God.
like both of ReZero's previous OPs, it's dark, moody, and
Well, it has to be, doesn't it? The
and
show
its
is so
visuals are
full
the
of
darkest
suffering.
out of any of them by far. After Echidna's glowing butterflies introduce us to the witches and Subaru, looking
Wow.
like he's just absolutely done with it all.
Yeah, he's like,
We see
why
him
do I have to keep
half
suffering?
every brutalized corpse he left behind
Whoa.
as he returned by death over and over to reach this point. And even as he's reminded of all the pain and suffering he went
Sufferag.
through, his face remains a cold mask. It's only when he finds
As soon as it
Amelia
starts back
slaughtered
up,
and surrounded by
I am
corpses of his
starting
other
the
friends
season,
and
man.
allies that the pain sets in and he damn near breaks before breaking into a mad, self-destructed sprint in the OP's back
Whoa.
half. Falling to pieces mid-stride time and again as his increasingly desperate
Oh my
face is
God.
painted with his own blood. And the thing that spurs it all on? Satella, or maybe Amelia, wrapping her arms around him gently and telling him she loves him. The
Oh.
only thing a man who hates himself, deep down, can't take. The reason his friends' smiling faces flash between all this carnage and the frantically scrawled messages declaring his intent to die for Amelia is because this pain he's putting himself through is his response to all of their kindness. Hurting himself to save them is the only way he can think of to pay them all back. There are plenty of little Easter eggs in this opening as well,
Mhm.
the credits being written out in Lagunican before translating to kanji to the specific details of these death animations, and the theme song is a banger, but it's that overarching narrative, the way it captures the season's themes
I
of
really
loneliness
need
and
to-
self-abuse,
but-
that pushes it to the top of this list. It hits me right in the feels.
I like
every
binging
time
anime when I've
watching
got it, but Attack on Titan, I'm
Actually,
just
wasn't
watching it every
often
week,
when I was
goddammit,
watching
man.
the show itself.
can't
They only use this
wait.
OP in like 2 or 3 episodes, forgoing it in the rest in order to use that time for real storytelling instead. But that only makes it more remarkable that this OP is as good as it is. That is my list, but I'd love to hear what your
That was
favorite
cool. That was cool. Yeah,
are
yeah, give
and
it all that.
why in the comments down below. While I've got you here, I recommend checking out my video essay about the horrific themes of isolation in ReZero if you're looking to feel more things, or if you're in the mood to hear me talk about anime openings some more, consider
That
checking
Jujutsu
out
Kaisen
last
What's in an
week's
OP
What's in an
was
OP for
cool.
Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm Jeff Thu, professional shitbag,
Signing out from my mother's basement. That was cool. That was cool. I like that scene the majority of the shows he was talking about. Oh man, Princess Connect. Second Life is Villainous. Takes me back to the first lockdown in the UK. Yeah, what a year. Yeah, cool. That was awesome. And yeah, it's like end of the year. It's like Mother's Basement's like best opening top 10s, and then you've got like Gook's like anime in 2020, which I hope he's working on that, because that's going to be hilarious. The amount of jokes he can throw with how crap the year has been and stuff. And I mean, he did a bloody was it coronavirus survival guide at the start of it all happening. So oh god. Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. What do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of this? Click like, subscribe, and leave comments down below. Let me know what you watch, because in future videos, I'll see you guys.